CaitlinClark, you need to go up to their front office, demand Stephanie White to be fired, removed.
CaitlinClark needs to get the hell out of Indiana.
CaitlinClark's teammate just broke her silence, and what she revealed changes everything. After a rocky first half and a broken game plan, the Indiana Fever didn't turn things around because of some genius coaching adjustment. They did it because the players took over. A mid-game shift led by veterans like Sophie Cunningham saw the team ditch the coach's system and put full trust in CaitlinClark. The result? A blowout win, a defensive lockdown, and a clear message: Clark isn't just a player.
Word on the street is CC told Stephanie White to sit Kelsey Mitchell and Howard because they don't pass. Could be true. CC went to tie her shoe after passing to Howard on a play. LOL.
And it is clear that there is a philosophical rift in the team.
The Fever won 99-82, but this wasn't about brilliant coaching or perfect execution. This was a quiet rebellion, a mid-game shift in power led not by the staff, but by the players themselves. The real story started before tip-off, when Indiana was spiraling and head coach Stephanie White publicly questioned the team's heart, saying she saw a lack of competitive fire. But while the coach was pointing fingers, veteran Sophie Cunningham pointed to the solution. In a bold pre-game statement, she said, "We're running out of time. You're going to see an energy shift tomorrow." To casual fans, it sounded like a cliche, but to those paying attention, it was a red flag, a signal that the team was done waiting for answers from the bench and ready to take matters into their own hands. By putting their trust in one person, CaitlinClark, then came the Atlanta Dream, and the cracks in the system exploded. Jordan Canada lit up the Fever with 26 first-half points, including 6 three-pointers, turning the court into her personal showcase. Indiana looked lost, confused, disjointed, and reactive. Whatever game plan was in place, it was getting shredded. By halftime, they trailed 45-40, and it was clear to anyone watching the coaching strategy had failed. The warning Sophie Cunningham gave before the game, it wasn't just justified, it had become undeniable. "We don't need a transcript of what went down in that locker room. The second half told us everything." The Fever didn't just play with more energy, they played with an entirely different purpose. The offense had a new identity, and at the center of it was one clear shift. CaitlinClark had the ball in her hands every single possession. She wasn't just involved, she was the offense. That wasn't a coincidence. That was a conscious decision, a silent agreement. The players had made their choice. They were done waiting on a broken system and instead put their trust in the one person who could lead them. What happened in the second half wasn't just a momentum swing, it was a player-led pivot. A silent but powerful shift away from the coach's system, and toward the one person everyone in that locker room knew could lead them: CaitlinClark. From the moment the Fever came out of the tunnel, you could feel it. The energy was different, the movement was different, and most importantly, the ball was in one place, Clark's hands. Every possession ran through her. She wasn't being used as a decoy, or stuck in a corner waiting for the offense to come to her. No, she was the offense. That wasn't some accidental adjustment. That was a deliberate decision by the players themselves.
Don't know what she's doing. She's holding CaitlinClark back. She don't know what to do with her.
Y'all was way better without her last year, you hear me? She is sabotaging your game. She trying to make you play slow. Know what I'm saying? You have to have the ball in your hand and play up-tempo. That's your game. And everybody, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see that. You hear me? And everybody that's saying the Fever is better without CaitlinClark, aka my precious CC Goofy.
Yeah, I know CaitlinClark plays a certain type of way. You want to build a team around your superstar player. That is not the case for this team. This front office solely, to me, only care about the regiment of their team.
And once they made that call, the results were undeniable. The Fever put up a massive 59 points in the second half, nearly doubling their first half output. Clark only recorded 9 assists on the stat sheet, but the box score doesn't show how often she broke down Atlanta's defense. It doesn't capture the double teams she drew, the gravity she had, or the extra pass she made that led to someone else's assist. She was controlling the game. Players around her suddenly came alive. Sophie Cunningham, who had publicly demanded a shift just 24 hours earlier, looked like a woman on a mission. She dropped 16 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and hit clutch shots that helped bury the dream. That's not a coincidence. That's what it looks like when a veteran feels empowered.
Stephanie White, right here, talking about Luka.
A wrist sprain in that game and has been out since. And that puts a lot on the plate of players like Spencer Dinwiddie, who just came in, finds Marshall for the corner three.
And you see the Mavs just play differently without Luka on the floor. He's a guy who's high usage rate, the ball's in his hands. When he's not on the floor, that ball is moving, it's popping. Multiple players getting involved in action, and everyone's stepping up.
Okay, you can hear the excitement in her voice talking about Luka not being in there. Oh, they're moving and they're popping and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, no. You hear that and you wonder, is she one of these coaches that doesn't believe in the transcendent player?
Stephanie White, you deserve the Dodo Bird of the Day award.
Then there was Kelsey Mitchell, one of the most dynamic scorers in the league, but someone who struggled when forced into a stagnant system. With Clark running the show, Mitchell was unleashed. She played free, aggressive, confident, dropping 25 points and looking like her best.
You played Natasha Howard more minutes in the first half than you played CaitlinClark. CaitlinClark played the 4th most minutes out of everybody in the starting lineup in the first half, and you wonder why we're losing. Caitlin, 12 points, 9 assists, but she don't even look like the same player. She don't look enthusiastic. She just don't even look like she into it anymore. She kind of look like she over this. You know what I mean? And to be honest, as a CaitlinClark fan, I'm pretty much over it as well. I just got to keep it real with you. I'm pretty much over this as well. This season is a travesty. I just feel like, she needs to explore other options. And if they do not want to get make a coaching change and bring in who she wants that is going to cater to her style and build the team around her strengths, then she should walk.
Again. And the transformation wasn't just offensive. The fire that started on one end of the floor bled into the defense. CaitlinClark, who had already carried the team on offense, made a statement on the other end by personally taking on Jordan Canada, who had absolutely scorched them in the first half with 26 points. But in the second half, with Clark guarding her, Canada scored just 4, from 26 to 4. That kind of defensive turnaround isn't just effort, it's personal. Clark took the challenge, and in doing so, she sent a message to her teammates, her coaches, and the league. She's not just the face of the team, she's the leader, on both ends. The stats don't tell that full story. The coaching staff didn't draw that up on a clipboard. This was the players stepping up, taking over, and choosing Clark to lead the way.
I don't even understand the spacing of the offense. I'm watching CaitlinClark drive down the right side of the lane, and Natasha Howard, rather than spacing the floor and stand in the corner, she's diving to the basket, bringing a defender to Caitlin. It's just, bro, the offense is just trash. I got to be honest with you.
And who do you think that the fans come to see? They don't come see everybody else that's on that team. I'm sorry. There's no disrespect. The CaitlinClark effect, the CC effect is real.
But what I will say with Stephanie White is just that I hate this offense. I do not like the Indiana Fever's offense this season. It's hard to watch. And I feel like Stephanie White is bringing what she was doing with the Connecticut Sun over here.
That's exactly why men need to be coaching in the WNBA, bro. Need to be coaching. Yeah, let a man do it, bro. Because all this women coaching other women athletes, bro, it's out of there. And then these women owners and all of that, man, please, bro, y'all just tearing stuff down, bro. It's not about y'all. But it's crazy though.
And it worked brilliantly. The numbers don't lie. In the second half, the Fever posted a 77% assist rate, 27 assists on 35 made baskets. That's not just good basketball, that's elite, connected team play. The kind you only see when players trust the system they're running. CaitlinClark's plus 18 plus minus in that stretch wasn't just a number, it was the reflection of her impact on every single possession. The ball moved, the spacing opened up, the pace shifted, players were in rhythm. The offense finally looked like it had a purpose and a pulse. And the reason? It's simple, the players leaned into the system they trusted, the one that runs through Clark. They didn't wait for a whiteboard adjustment or another post-game lecture. They acted, and it worked. Better than anything we've seen from the official game plans all season. Which now forces a brutal question for the Fever coaching staff. What happens when the players prove their way works better than yours? How do you regain authority when the system you've been pushing is publicly exposed, and the player's version leads to a dominant win? This wasn't just a feel-good comeback. This was a power shift, quiet, maybe even unspoken, but absolutely undeniable. Stephanie White is now under pressure, because this game didn't just signal a turnaround, it exposed a reality the front office can no longer ignore. When the Fever trust CaitlinClark to run the show, they win. When they don't, they flounder. And if the players have figured that out, and clearly, they have, what happens next could redefine this team's future. This was the moment the Indiana Fever changed. A frustrated veteran finally spoke out. The system broke in real time. And when it did, the players didn't panic, they chose each other. They chose trust. And most importantly, they chose CaitlinClark. They didn't wait for permission. they didn't need a whiteboard. They made the adjustment and the result was undeniable. Because CaitlinClark isn't just part of the system. She is the system. But here's the real question. Was this a one-time rebellion, born from frustration? Or have the players officially taken back control for good? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're tired of surface-level takes, if you believe in going deeper and exposing the truth behind the narrative, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who's ready to see the WNBA with clear eyes. Because the mainstream won't tell this story, but we will.